Hey, what is going on, guys? I am so happy to have a good friend of mine, Kory Klimas, on with me on the Squeegee podcast, one of the MiniPod episodes that we're doing just to get us excited about the upcoming Elevate convention with the IWC and the PWNA. So, how you doing, Mr. Kory? How you doing?
I'm I'm doing very well, Gabe. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I know you're a busy guy. You got a lot of kid stuff going on right now,
Certainly do. It's that time of year. Multiple
huh?
sports and activities and school pickups and drop-offs and you name it.
Awesome. Yeah, I know. I appreciate you making your time. Please thank your wife as well for being willing to take on that load so you can make some time to join us here.
I got a little eye roll when I told her I was going to be missing you.
Of
She
course, it
she
wouldn't be
gets
the
over.
same
She
if you didn't.
understands. No, I expect it.
Great. Well, anyways, we just want to thank you for joining because I really wanted to have you on. This whole week with these mini pods, the goal is to get everybody excited about the upcoming convention. And who better than to talk to someone who was one winner of the IWC speed cleaning competition and also window cleaner of the year. So you've kind of got to experience the highs of a couple different really important things with the IWCA. So I do want to pick your brain on that, and I want to just kind of relive the time because I was there for both of them, so I got to have front row seat to them, and just really excited to share with everyone. Just kind of give people a taste of what happens at the convention. But before we get there, could you just, for those who may not know you, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're working out of, how long you've been doing Windows?
Yeah, sure. So I've been doing Windows for 25 years now. Going
Okay.
into my 26th season in the spring. We're in a little bit of a lull right now with the winter. The 20 inches of snow that's on the ground has kind of held us back a little bit from doing much this winter, but we've been getting a little bit done, which is good.
Good,
But I
good.
got my start back in 2001. My mother had remarried. We relocated to a new town, and I was about an hour away from my hometown. So I needed
Okay.
to find a job down that way. It wasn't really practical to travel back and work in my hometown. It was an hour away. So I was looking for something to do, and
And how old are
my
you?
stepfather. I was 19.
19. Okay.
Yeah, I was 19. My stepfather. They weren't married yet, but they'd been together for a little bit.
Got it.
He had a friend who owned a window cleaning business, and he was looking to hire. I think it was about May when we moved, so it was peak season here. He's hitting spring season. He's trying to ramp up his business. Typically ran a crew of like 6 to 8 guys, so he always picked up one or two in the beginning of spring. And I was fortunate to get an opportunity to join him,
Nice.
and turned out to be like an awesome summer job. But not only was it a cool job that I really enjoyed the work right away because I loved working with my hands. I didn't mind climbing. I had done stuff like that before, doing painting and roof work and things like that. So ladders didn't bother me. I love being outside. This job is right by the beach down here. Most of the work was
Wow.
on the shoreline, so that was really awesome. But the best thing about it was the guy that I worked for was just the absolute best boss you could ever ask for. I mean, he's a
Nice.
great mentor, just a good human being, great
Yeah.
teacher, someone that became a best friend. So I was really fortunate. I just fell into a
Yeah.
really awesome spot with a great person and a great job that kind of fit exactly who I was.
Right. So he's
Uh,
kind of right, as they say, just one of those guys who just likes to help others. Kind of get you
yeah,
gets you on your feet and helps you going.
yep, yep. And like I said, father figure as well,
Yeah.
which I needed at 18 and 19 years old.
Sure.
Um, I didn't have the guidance that I probably needed as a kid from a father figure. So when I kind of came into that spot, it really helped me along the way because I could have gone a bad direction if I didn't have someone there to kind of show me the right way to do things and show me how to be a good worker and show me what it's like to help. He was always helping other people. He had a special needs child. He was very involved in the
Mm,
Special Olympics and all these other. So I just kind of
wow.
sat back and observed, like, okay, this is the kind of human that I want to be. So
Yeah.
it was really it was a perfect time in my life. It was something that I really needed, and I credit him a lot with kind of getting me into the spot I am today and the person I am today.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So how long did you work for him?
So I worked for him for 5 years. It was supposed to be a summer job. I
Hmm.
was going to college, so in the summers, the plan was to come back and work for him in the summer. I ended up
Got it.
after the first like 2 years. What I did was I worked my college schedule around where I was taking more night classes and I would commute to school. and that way I could work for him as close to year round as I could. Because like I said, I love the work, I love the job, and I like working with him. So I wanted to figure out a way to do both, still go to school and be able to work closer to year round. So 5 years I was with him, and he sold his business in 2006, and I stuck with the new guy for a year, and it just was going a different direction. He wasn't the
It's
same
not the
guy.
same. Yeah.
No, and he didn't take care of the staff the same way that guy did. I mean, there was if you went above and beyond for the old boss, he'd take care of you. You know,
Yeah.
you scratch his back, he scratches your back. It was always mutual. And this guy was just more like push, push, push. How much can I get out of you? And there was never anything reciprocal. So
Yeah.
the relationship didn't last too long. I think it was 3 months, and I was like, I got to be done with this. And
Mm.
that's when I kind of got the idea. I want to do this. I like this job. I like this line of work. I want to try it on my own, but I was like, I don't even know where to start. Like, what paperwork to file? Where do I get the money for a truck? Because I didn't have dime one when I wanted to start on my own. So it was tricky, but it was also something like, I really like this. I'm going to figure out how to make this work.
Yeah.
And here I am, 18 years later, 19 years later, and still around. It wasn't always pretty, it
Nice.
wasn't
Right.
perfect,
Right. It never is.
but I'm just stubborn
Never
enough
is.
to make it work.
Very cool. So how old were you then when you started your business?
24, 25,
24.
somewhere in that
Okay.
range.
That's
Yeah,
a good
24,
age. That's a
25.
good age.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and
you've
there was.
got about, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I
Oh,
was say you had about
there was.
6 years of you got about
Here we
6 years
go.
experience, and now you're ready
Yep.
to start. So now you don't have to worry about the technical stuff while you're learning the business side of it.
No, the
That's really
technical
great.
stuff was, yeah, technical stuff was good. I was a crew leader for 3 years. I ran my own truck and ran my own crew and did a lot of stuff on my own. Like, they just send me out by myself to do jobs. So that part of it was fine, but the business side, I mean, it's a different animal,
Yeah,
and it's a
it is.
long learning process. Fortunately, as you start out, you're you're not starting out with a business that's established like his. It's not as
Right.
busy as he was.
Right.
So it was, I'd have a job here, a job there, and then I always did two jobs for, like, I want to say 7 years. I did two
Mm,
jobs. I did that during the day, and I always did something else at night. And then it just reached a point where, all right, something's got to give here. I
right.
got to make a decision to either go all into this or just leave it, because I'm not getting anywhere in either one. Only putting half effort in.
Yeah.
So that was a tipping point in probably like 2011, 2012, somewhere in that range. And I actually had a best friend who I sat down, we had a couple beers, and I just like dumped it on him. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm panicking here. I'm going to give up my business. And he runs a business himself. He's a barber, very successful.
Got it.
And he's like, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. He's like, quit the other job and go all into the windows for 1 year. And if it doesn't work, what have you lost? He says, you can go back and find another job somewhere else. He says, but
Yeah.
you got to go all in, give it one shot for 1 year and see what happens. He says, I guarantee we're not having this conversation next year. And he
Huh.
was right.
Yeah.
He was right.
Nice. Well, that's cool. That's really cool. So when did you find your way towards the IWCA?
So it was a long, long road before I got there from where I started.
Hmm.
I got involved in Facebook groups, the Pro Window group, and shortly after that, the Into the Flow group. Probably around like 2018, I'd say, is when I found my first group, somewhere in that range. 2017, 2018, I found my first group. And it was shortly after that, maybe a year or two after, you guys, when I was in the Into the Flow group, you guys were all talking about going to one of the conventions, one of the shows.
Yeah.
And I was super jealous. I'm like, oh, that sounds like such a cool thing to do. And it just, the timing of it, I was like, I don't know if I can make it work. And then also, like,
Yeah.
I've never been the most like comfortable
Mm,
socially. I'm like,
yeah.
that's a big thing for me to go and not know anybody and just go to one of these things. So I think it was probably 2 years after that, around 2020, I was like, I really want to go check one of these out. And 2020 or 2021, I think it was, probably 21. I don't think there was one in 20 with COVID. Um, but I got, I think I got picked for a free pass to one of the conventions, I did a short
Oh,
video
that's
entry.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think I remember that.
I sent it in, and I was like, all right, it's now. I got to take this opportunity and go. And it was it was a game changer. The
Yeah.
experience I had there with the classes and just the brotherhood that you feel, that community feeling when
Yeah.
you're there. It's just something special. Like you can't really put words to it unless like once you're in there and once you feel it, it's just such a special place to be around other
Yeah.
window cleaners and all the experience they have and the information that's at your hands there with the classes. Um, so that was really, 2021, 2022 is when I found it, and then I was like, oh,
Mhm.
I have to come to this every year. This is
Yeah.
just too good to miss.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember now that you say that. I remember you winning, and I was really happy for you because I know you had wanted to go, and it was just kind of a challenge, and you just kept like, oh, I got to get there, and I just was really happy when you won because then that meant
Oh,
that you had that ticket, and yeah.
yep.
Was
No,
that
that
did
made a
we go
big difference.
running that year, or was it the next year that we went on a run?
We did. So that was the first.
Yeah,
That was the first. That was in Orlando. It was my first one, obviously.
that's right.
But yeah, we were in. Let's see, where were we? I don't know. I kept turned around down there. I remember we took a picture in front of like a sideways house or something. Remember?
Yeah. It was
Like
upside down house, the upside down
The
house there.
Ripley's,
Yeah.
Ripley's Believe It or Not place. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yep, we
So
got a
that's
run
right.
in
We
on that
did.
one.
So just so if anybody's going, I don't know, how many are runners, but we're gonna try and we always try to get at least one or two runs, group runs in. Just there's not a whole lot of places to run in Orlando, but there's some cool places to see. Just along the streets. If anyone wants to join us, just DM me and we'll pick a place. So yeah, well, and you don't have to be like super in shape. We're just going at a nice, relaxed pace. It's just more about the camaraderie of being out there and getting some exercise while you're at the convention. So let us know if you have. I do just want to take a quick time out to say hi to everybody. We've got Tyler Blue in, Jessica Battles always in. We really appreciate you, Jess. Charles D. Smith, Adam Hogan. He's also one that's in pretty regularly. Jeremy Peterson. Callan Hewitt, he's also a cool guy to have in here. I definitely want to have him on an interview here. We've got Jamie Holman checking in here. I think that's it for now. I think I did see some other names, but those are the ones that are. Oh, John Magdos, Nick Brano. So we got a few people here watching. Thank you so much for being here. You're gonna really enjoy this one because we're getting into the nitty gritty right here. So, all right. So you're in the IWCA. Now we're what do we do, right? We're just like, what are the things? We take the classes, we're spending time at the trade show, and we decide, hey, we're going to do some speed cleaning, right? So you ended up winning. I think it was 2023 or 2024. 2024 you won,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. And how many times did you try that before you won? Was it 3 or 2?
I think that was the second.
The second.
Yeah. So, excuse me. I've always, since I was a kid, like I've always loved competing, like anything. It
Yeah.
was kind of my language.
Right.
Like I said, like socially a little uncomfortable in certain situations, like anxiety in front of a class. Like I never really felt comfortable like speaking in front of a class. But for some reason, when I played sports, it's like put a ball in my hand or at my feet, and I just
Yeah.
like that was it. I can take that big shot in the game. I might not be able to go talk about it in class the next day, but I have no problem. I have no problem shooting the ball, in front of thousands or not thousands, but in front of a
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always been something that I've loved to do.
Yeah.
It gets the juices flowing, it gets the adrenaline flowing. And the very first one I went to, I'm like, I got to do this competition.
Yeah.
I got to give it a shot. And yeah, so the second one I went to, the first, I think I got disqualified twice.
I was
The
going to
first
say,
time.
I think you got disqualified, and they had just tightened the rules. So
It was
before they were
tight.
kind of letting you get away with stuff here and there, and then they would just like deduct points. But then that first year you did it, they had like clamped down. They're like minimal mistakes, and any really big things you were DQ'd. It was like that was it.
Yep. But
So
the
that
toughest
was
part
tough.
was the tough thing was when you did, so you got 2 runs, you did your first run, and then they'll just DQ you, and then you don't
Yeah.
get any feedback.
Right. They don't
It's
say
like, all right,
nothing.
what do I
Yeah,
change?
yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go do this again, and probably I have no idea what I did wrong, so I'm sure I'm gonna do it wrong again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
was
going back in 2024, it was like, all right, I gotta get another crack at this, and
yeah,
I practiced a bit for it
yeah,
because it's not a technique. This isn't something you're doing on the job on a regular basis. Like
no,
you might, if
and,
you're working in direct sun and it's really hot, you might do a
exactly.
two-handed technique, but you're not doing this. Like this
I
is not
I
something
do,
you're doing.
yeah. I do a two-handed technique often being in the desert because of that reason.
Yeah.
But I'm not going as fast as what you're going, on there on the glass. So it's not a
Hmm.
natural technique, that you just pick up being a window cleaner.
Yep. Yeah. So if you're going to do the speed competition, I would suggest like go to YouTube, find a video,
Yeah.
and you'll have to slow it down so because it goes so fast. You're like, I don't know what he just did. It's
Yeah,
clean. I don't know what happened.
and you have to find a square window because it's a
Yep.
45 by 45-inch window. And if you practice on a rectangle, you're not gonna get the technique down. You really need a square window. It doesn't have to be exactly 45 by 45, but the closer you can get to those dimensions, the easier
Hmm.
it'll be adjustment to get on there and doing that double-handed technique because you're wetting and squeegeeing right at the same time,
Yep.
really fast. They
And you
deduct
just,
any marks that are left on the glass.
if your
And I know
mop
your
misses
winning
a
run.
corner,
Yeah.
yeah, if your mop misses a corner, that's a deduction.
Yep.
Your mop misses
Yep.
anywhere, you have to mop every square inch of glass and
Yep.
try your best to squeegee it.
Exactly. So it's not just the fanning, not just the squeegeeing that can get you. It's the wetting. If you don't wet the glass fully, deduction, right? And I know on your run, I think you had one big miss on the winning run,
Uh,
and that was it.
yep.
All the rest
Yeah,
was good.
I think it's usually that first pane, like usually that very first one, like it's a little.
Yeah.
You have to hit a rhythm and a
Yeah.
flow, and then by the time you get to the second one, you're usually a little bit better. I mean, I don't know where the miss
Yeah. Yeah.
was, but
Yeah.
typically
You'll
on that
see
first
it.
one,
Yeah. You'll
oh,
see
you
it
can
if
see
you.
the, yeah, I remember.
Hopefully the quality is good enough that you can see because we're going to play it in a little bit here. I just want you guys to get the feel of what it's like because it's really hard to explain. Again, if you're an experienced window cleaner, you've been cleaning windows 10 years or so, the movements are not hard. It's all about, it's like the pressure of the competition. Like you said, some people kind of like get up for it and they're like, yeah, let's do this. And others are like, wow, I was not expecting this. And you get some really good window cleaners who just get up there and they just lay an egg, man, just
Well, it's a rush.
horrible
Like you get
runs.
this,
Yeah.
you get a big rush, and then you have to kind of handle that and just remember your muscle memory and your practice, and just kind of slow yourself down because you want to go fast. It's a speed competition, but if you try going too fast, you're gonna screw everything up. And then
Yeah.
once, like, you could be halfway through the first pane and you've ruined your whole run.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I know when I took second that one year, literally the reason why I took second was because I did not have any mistakes on my run.
Yep.
And I was not going super fast. I was really focusing on
Just
that,
slow.
but someone was faster than me and be me. But yeah, I was just focused on not making the mistakes. And I didn't take my time. I was still moving fast, but not as fast as what you see on there, not as fast as what we're going to see you do in the video. But and the other cool thing about Kory's win was he was the first cleaner. He was the first one that day. He started the whole event, and his time carried the whole rest of the way of dozens of other competitors that came up. And we each get 2 runs. You get 2 runs to try it.
Yeah.
And he lasted all the, so that one run was golden, man. So we got it. Let's go ahead and play it here.
Let's see it.
Let me see. All right, so here we go.
Mike Nichols, he's
this is
representing
just the feel,
for
right?
you.
They're kind of getting ready. They're kind of getting you have a chance to look over and make sure that the glass is all clean because you don't want to have someone else's mistakes on there and then you get blamed for it. So you do want to make sure it's done properly. And then you just kind of right now you're getting nervous and people are cheering for you and you're just like, oh, it's like you just want to get started.
You got this, Kory.
So here we go. All right, Kory's going to get ready to go in just a bit. Oh, and in the background is
Bring it home
Jeremiah.
for the
So
Floamies.
Jeremiah Hickey, he's does a lot. He does a lot with the speed cleaning now, and he's a former. He beat Terry Turbo in one of these competitions in Europe. So he's a previous speed cleaner as well, and one in across the pond as well. So, all right, here we go.
On your mark. Get set. Go.
There you go. Nice. There you go. Nice, Kory. You got it. Bring it home.
All right, there it was. Did that bring back memories?
It did. Got a little rush. I got a little rush.
Yeah, yeah.
Look
And
at
so
the second window, I had the big miss in the corner, the
that's
triangle.
it. It's just a little triangle right there. Yeah. And you were wearing Mike Nichols' company shirt as a shout out to Mike, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, I re-recorded, sent it to him. Yeah, a big squeegee. That's right. That's what he's known on Instagram and everything. But if you notice at the end, you have to wipe the sill. That's part of it. Even though you're not really wiping anything, you have to go through the motion of wiping that sill. Now you can wipe it as you clean, but you have to let the ref know you're doing that. So he monitors to make sure that as you're closing out on the last one, that you've got one hand on that sill that's counting as wiping. It's really hard to do, so a lot of people don't worry about it. They just do the 3 and then just do the final wipe run across. So anyways, just part of the rules, it's just more technical than anything. But yeah, that was pretty cool, man. And do you remember how you felt after that? Like, did you feel really good about it and think, oh, this is going to go all the way, or what were you thinking?
It's so hard, especially being the first one. I didn't get to see anybody else go. So that's like a little bit of added pressure in the beginning. Like, all right, I have to set the stage here. And I knew it was a good run. I was like, all right, that was pretty good. That's about as good as I could do just based on the limited, exposure I had to that technique.
Yeah.
I was like, that was pretty good. I'm happy with it. And then as the competition goes on, I don't remember how many people did it, but you're watching, you're like, whoa, that guy was pretty fast. Then you watch somebody like, oh, that guy was really good. And then when it came time to announce the winners, I just remember like they had a big board or the
yeah, we'll see it in the video.
Okay. Yeah, so if you want, I'll talk about it.
Okay.
If you want me to wait, I can wait.
No, you can talk about it. Go ahead now, and then I'll play the video. But just
so it's like,
God, contingent of Brazilians that came in, every single one of them was fast, man. Every single one of them. One came in second place. He was probably your closest. It was Indio, who's real popular. He's on Instagram, a lot of followers. But he came in. He was probably he was your next closest competitor. But I really thought that if it was between you or him, because he was really fast. I think he just made too many mistakes.
Yeah, that's usually what it comes down to, is the penalty mistakes. But I just remember seeing, they put third place up, and I think it was Butch Chapman. And then the second place name comes up, and it was Indio. And I'm like, damn, I probably didn't even make it. I'm like, maybe I was first. That's what I thought. I'm like, I don't know if I was good enough to be first after watching everybody go. And it had been so long since my run. And I just, after watching all those other ones, and I had like a handful of guys I thought were really good.
Yeah.
And fast. And then when the name popped up, it was like, there's another adrenaline rush. And the video shows the adrenaline rush pretty good, I think.
All right, so we're gonna play this. I'm just gonna preface it by saying this is not OSHA approved, but this is all emotion right here.
Hey, Kory! Yeah!
All right,
Flow, man! Good job! Kory! Yeah!
All right,
yes! Yes! Yeah! Awesome. That is so awesome, dude. Yeah. There you go, Mike Nichols right here, Mike. Look at there.
I love it. I just, that's like one of my favorite videos. That was so awesome. Everyone was so happy for you, and it was just a lot of good vibes right there.
Yep. Yeah, it was a risk trying to jump on that stage.
I was like, well, what is he doing?
Could have ruined the whole event.
Or I could have just made like America's Funniest Home Videos, and you would have won a lot of money or something, Or I would have won a lot of money. It was my video. I would have given you 10%.
There you go. I appreciate it.
That was really great. It was just a fun. So you guys just get a feel. All the races are like that now. Ton of people cheering. And we should just say this year we do have a special courtesy of Ettore, the winner of the speed competition this year, gets $500. That's $500 for the men and $500 for the women. So that's the first time that they're doing this. It is really exciting. It is going to bring the heavy hitters in though, so you're going to have to be on your game. So
Awesome.
please don't let that scare you away. Just give it a shot. If you're listening here, you've never done it before, just experience it, man. Get one under your belt. And then the next year when you come, you'll be a little more prepared to know what to expect on that. But it is a lot of fun. And hey, $500 is $500, right? That's a nice little
and then there's
change.
other competitions too. Like it's not just the speed.
Yeah.
They have the medley where you get to wash different size panes. You do a little pole work.
You and me, Kory, we're gonna win one of these, right? We're gonna.
I gotta wear a watch this year. I gotta wear a watch this year.
That's right. That's right. We would have won if we had finished in time, but we were I was checking the work, thinking I had time, and we ran out of time and lost. But we would have won if we would have done it. Yeah.
I think he said that. I think Jack said all you had to do was say you were finished.
Done. Yeah.
And we would have won. That's all we had to do. We had like 30 seconds. We're checking all our work, and he says all you guys had to do is say you're done, and you would have won it.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyways, it's a lot of fun, but we're going to go over time on this one just because this is really special. So we're going to go past the 30 minutes. The next thing that I want to talk about is when you won Window Cleaner of the Year, and I had the privilege of announcing you and presenting giving the speech to present you with the award. It's one of my favorite moments too, just because you and I, we've had a relationship for a while, and I knew a lot of the stuff that you were going through that not a lot of other people knew. And when you won, it was, I feel like, a validation of all the good decisions you made in the face of really challenging odds, when no one would have blamed you for making the wrong decision, but you consistently stuck with the right decision because it was the right thing to do. And that was just such a test of your character. And I felt like you came out of it with flying colors. As much as you felt beaten down, as much as you felt like, man, when is this going to end? I was so happy to be that part of like, hey, validation, man, you made the right choices. There was a payoff, and other people are going to recognize what you did, not only just for yourself, but just, the stuff you did for the community as well, just working with ITF and helping people and just being there for others. It was really good. So could you just share a little bit about how you felt that night when you received the award?
Yeah. I mean, just to go back a little bit, it was a challenging year, and to have the support I had from you and like just so many people. I had a lot of good support. I wouldn't have got through that without it. And I probably would have backtracked a little bit or made some steps in the wrong direction if I didn't have good support and people checking in constantly and helping me through it and trying to keep my mind in the right place. So a lot of credit is due to the supporting circle that I had, including you and Kevin and all the Flomies.
Kevin Hargis.
Yep. My family, my wife, my mother, and good friends, because everybody knew. I mean, not to get into all the details of it, but everybody that was close to me knew what was going on. And even though you're trying to do the right things and be positive, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Got me a little emotional. But it's tough. Sure. I mean, it was a tough situation, but you got to work through it. You got to stay positive. You got to lean on the support that you have, and then just trust the process that you're going to get through it, and you'll be stronger for it at the end of it. So, it was surprising. I did not expect a nomination for that. No part of me expected to be nominated for Window Cleaner of the Year, just based on the situation I was going through. It never crossed my mind. Mm-hmm. I had a problem that I had to deal with. I had a problem that I had to face, and I had a business to run and try to grow at the same time. And it was just like, all right, just lock in, just focus on data. You have to do this today. You have to do that today, and just try to put the negative stuff as far out of your mind as you can for as long as you can. Eventually, it does creep in.
Yeah.
So there's these periods of lows, but it's all right. pick yourself up and keep moving forward, because people are counting on you.
Yeah.
Clients are counting on me. My family's counting on me. Um, you have moments of weakness for sure, but you just got to lean on your strength and lean on your support. So
Yeah.
winning that was really, again, it was surprising, but it was so special. And I appreciate you so much for recognizing that, recognizing those qualities in me that kind of overcame a pretty difficult challenge.
For sure. Well, and I think that's who we're drawn to, right? We're not, of course, if people are drawn to the hero, right? To the person who seems like they got it all together and they got the looks and they got the charisma. And, of course, people are going to be drawn to that. But the people are more strongly drawn to the people who are facing challenges and keeping the on the road that they have intended, staying on the path. And that's what I was so happy to do, because these types of prizes, they can get kind of I don't want to say like commercial, but they can get kind of like, oh well, this is just something we have to do, and there have definitely been some great window cleaners of the year, but you never want it to get to where it's like, oh, we just need to give this to somebody so we can announce it. You never want it to get there. And that year I just was like, when you won, and of course they let us know, and they asked me to do it, to give the presentation. I was just like, yeah, this is it. I can sink my teeth into this because it's real. This guy has overcome so much, and what you've given to the IWCA and into the flow group at the time, as a moderator. You were setting the example for what you would want someone who's facing a challenge to do. And those are the people you want to highlight, because every single one of us faces challenges. Every single one of us is going to face a hardship. So What do? Do you play the victim? Do you fold? Do you blame others? What do you do when you face that? Or like you said, do you lock in, do what you need to do, come out the other side and say, I didn't let this affect who I am. I didn't let this change the light in me that's out there to give positivity to others. So I was so glad that you got. I'm going to show a picture. You sent this to me. I hadn't seen this yet, so I'm just going to. So I really appreciate you sending that. That just says it all right there. That's how happy I was for you to be able to give you that award. That really meant a lot. So
I love that. That's a great picture, and that was such a special moment.
Something also special. He gave me some cufflinks. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see on there, it says ITF for Into the Flow. So I have exactly one shirt that uses cufflinks, and I rotate these ones and my daughter bought me some cufflinks. So I alternate between these and that one whenever I wear that shirt. So you're in the rotation. So thank you so much for that.
Awesome.
Very cool. So now this year, a good friend of ours, Jason Gulick, he was nominated and won. He's wearing the hat, so he's not in here, but I'll tell him to make sure he watches this episode so he can hear the shout out. So you as the winner, the reason why I got to announce you is because the previous winner wasn't going to be there at the banquet, so I got to fill in. But you're going to be there, and you're going to get to give the speech for Jason. So are you excited about that? You pumped up?
I am really excited. I didn't know Jason a year ago. I mean, I never crossed paths with him online, but we met in Vegas and then kind of hit it off from there. So over the last year, I've gotten to know him and just watch his growth. And it's been an awesome, just to be a friend and be an observer and occasional participant in his podcast, through the chat or actually as a guest once, just to watch the way he operates and the things he's done this year. It was really, it's so special for him to win it and for me to get to present it to him. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited.
For sure. Yeah, I'm excited too. We get to have both him and Deeds as well. They're going to be on tomorrow. So I'll get to just talk with him about his journey and what he's meant, not only just to the industry, because, he has kind of created his own, they both have created their own space. They're a team.
Yeah.
They work hard on making that podcast be something that is just universally, enjoyed. But they've really done so much work in promoting the IWCA and the convention and getting people excited about it. and so many more people now are like wanting to go. We're starting to see that excitement again that used to be years ago.
Yeah.
And we lost it for a little bit, but I feel like thanks to people like Jason and Mark there that we're getting it back. And so we're just going to keep building that.
He's got a lot of guys that probably, I don't know if they've never been before, but maybe otherwise wouldn't attend. He's got a lot of new faces coming in,
for sure.
just based on the interest he's drawn from the podcast, which is really, really cool. So he deserves a ton of credit for his promotion.
Absolutely. Well, awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We did go a little bit over time, but I think it was worth it. Anything you want to share before we sign off?
I'm just super excited for next week. I got a lot of hugs. You know, I was like, I want to go shake a lot of hands down there, and now we're past that. Now we're on to hugs. I got a lot of hugs to give when I get down there. I'm excited to see all you guys and take part in another convention and trade show and competition and just learn as much as I can while I'm down there and have some fun. So
awesome. I just want to share one comment. Jessica Battle, she just says, I really appreciate your vulnerability. I know it's going to help others going through things. So that's the way I felt too. So thank you so much for
everybody, like, some point we're all down. You know, everybody, nobody's perfect. Life isn't perfect. You hit downs, and it's okay to feel it. It's okay to be down, but you just can't stay down. So you get people to help you pick you back up, and just make your way back one way or the other.
Yep. Keep on going. Just keep taking one foot in front of the other, and just keep going forward. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for listening. Thanks everyone who was contributing in the chat. Tomorrow's going to be the last of the mini pods, and like I said, we're going to have Goo and Deeds on, Jason Gulick and Mark Kladinsky. We look forward to talking with them and getting their story. And then we're going to I want to tell you everything was going on with Squeegee U and the convention. It's going to be a lot of fun. Please, I'm going to have a booth there. I may not be at the booth all the time, but I am going to be around. I've got a ton of stuff going on. I'll share that with you tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for participating and all the positive feedback we're getting for the mini pods. We'll have to do this again. Man, I wish I could just do this for my job. This is fun. I love talking to people and getting to know people in the industry. So many good people to get to know and to celebrate and to shine the light on the ones who are doing it the right way. So, all right, y'all, have a good day. We'll talk to you later.